consumption tax really respects all people and their choices and their options when it comes to spending the fruits of their labor, which is really what we want to happen here in America.
So in practical terms, there is an element in society that would be free from taxes.
There's a small element, but that's really a matter of choice. You could make $1 million a year. In my view, you could make $1 million a year, not spend any of it, and you wouldn't pay the fair tax. But then that goes to the real question of then why are you earning $1 million in the first place? You know, we work to accumulate assets. That's what we do. And so, you know, to a degree, is there an element that should be eliminated from paying federal income taxes? No, I do not. I don't think so. I think everybody should have skin in the game, like Joe Biden likes to say. But the fair tax does have an element called the prebate, which does help to protect the very poor so that they can have an opportunity to become financially free, which is one of the things I think are crucial for our republic.
We have about 5 minutes left of this meeting. Any other questions?
As far as you, with your background coming out of Brooklyn, and then how would your teachers describe you? What would they say that, you know, would anybody in Brooklyn today be shocked that you're running for Congress?
Yes, a lot, a lot. You know, I guess they would say, you know, he's intelligent. You know, he thinks things through. But I mean, nobody. I was even telling my wife. You know, we were like 6 years ago. Did you ever think you would be doing this? No, absolutely not. And that's my wife. And she knows me better than anybody. For me, it's really something that I've grown into through economic analysis at my bank when I worked at TIB Bank, through reading, you know, watching CNBC, reading the Wall Street Journal, reading economic analysis from Bureau of Labor Statistics, so on and so forth, to starting to read history, to starting to read Democracy in America by Alexis de Tocqueville, reading the writings of John Locke and Montesquieu, reading the Federalist Papers, and really starting to just think and try to process, what are we even doing here in government? What's the purpose? And I've come to the conclusion that the purpose of American government is to ensure the stability for all people so that they can seek their own interests in life. That is the job of the federal government, period, point blank. It has no other role. It should have no other role. Because when it does, it only serves to eliminate and erode the liberty of all people.
Was there a defining moment when you went from saying, I'm just going to be ordinary Joe citizen to I want to be a congressman? I mean, was there a point where the light switch hit you and you said, I've got to do it?
It happened.
What was it? It
happened in December of 2011. I've been active in the Tea Party movement. I had been debating a family and college friends about liberalism versus conservatism and making those arguments and making those points. But really, when people started asking me to do it, started asking me to run in this race, that's when I started to really think about it really for the first time.
Yeah, but when you were in college, was, I suppose, running for political office was probably a farthest thing.
It was, but I mean, in college, I was president of my business fraternity. You know, I did leadership positions in college, but running for a high office, it really wasn't part of my plan, if you will.
Yeah. I just wondered if there was some trigger that caused it.
Honestly, I thought it through. I really thought it through. Thought a lot about it. And then I just said, you know what? I think I have the ability to do it. And as this race has gone on, it's only but confirmed that to me.
Byron, I think I expressed to you one time when I heard you speaking, and I thought you were articulate and you were bright and invested. But I had one concern, was your ability to raise money for your campaign. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately today, and with so many candidates, your fiscal ability to do that is important. And it's unfortunate it is that way, but it happens to be that way. And not knowing who you were either, because you were a newbie on the scene. Mm-hmm. You didn't have a family name. You weren't in legislation before. You didn't have a TV name or anything like that. I was wondering how you would have the ability to raise the financial funds to support a good, strong campaign at this time. And at that time, I think you said you were concerned about raising the funds. But recently, I've seen an infusion of contributions
Yes.
into your campaign. And I think you probably will acknowledge that. And what do you think created that all of a sudden now that there is a response to you through larger contributions and more contributions than there was in the very beginning?
I think what happened there is that people just started believing that I actually had a chance. At first when I got into this race, and people were like, well, who's this guy? Then as time went on, they're like, hey, that guy's pretty good, he speaks well. And now that I've had a chance to stand toe-to-toe with my opponents in this race, demonstrate my knowledge on the issues and my commitment to them, people are saying, you know what, this is the kind of guy I've been looking for. We have a big team. We have 215 volunteers. We have several people in the community down in Naples who are putting their name on the line to help me raise money. And there's no doubt about it, they've been crucial to our success. The other thing for our campaign is we're all volunteer. We're not paying anybody. There's no paid campaign manager. We're not paying consultants, which does waste money in the campaign. All the money that we raise goes to materials, it goes to push cards, it's going to go to mailings, it's going to go to signs on corners, so on and so forth. But this race is truly interesting because there's so many people in the race. And because it's a primary in the middle of one of the biggest presidential elections we've seen in modern history, a lot of people aren't paying attention to this race. And so the voter turnout, in my opinion, is going to be somewhat high, but not terribly high. And with so many different people in the race, you just have to command maybe 20,000 votes to win. You don't need $1 million to get 20,000 votes. What you need to have is enough money to put out material and have a team that's committed and that is effective and is willing to go to work. And my team is willing to go to work and they're effective. And quite frankly, we have the largest campaign of anybody in this race.
Is it an advantage that you're the only candidate from Collier?
Yes, it is. Because there's so many people in the race. There's so many people in the race.
Right.
So, and really, the larger names are out of Lee County.
Right.
And so that is a huge help to us. But that's not the only thing. When I walk into rooms, whether it's Matt Lachey, whether it's Cape Coral or Marco Weiland or Naples, when I walk into a room and explain my case to the people there, we're winning those rooms. People are coming out 50 to 70% saying, you have my vote. I finally am hearing what I think. And that's a very important thing. We're building serious momentum in this campaign. And, we just want to work hard and let the voters decide it. And hopefully that's what'll happen. With respect to me not having a name or not, whether it be from TV or whether it be from family, this nation was never set up to build lines of nobility. That's not our purpose in the federal government. That's Article 1, I think, Section 4 or 5. The Congress is not supposed to establish lines of nobility. And in our politics, we're not supposed to do that either. We're supposed to be looking for the best people to represent us, regardless of who they were or who we thought they might be. And that's the other thing that has really helped us in this race, is that people have heard the other names, and then they're seeing Byron Donalds. And more often than not, they're saying, you know what? Byron Donalds is the best candidate in this race. And so we're going to continue to push the envelope.
Well, we're at the end of this interview. Any final thoughts before we sign off?
Thank you for the interview. To the citizens of Southwest Florida who are going to see this, I'll talk to you directly. To the citizens of Southwest Florida who are going to see this, I ask you to do one thing, just vote for the best candidate. You'll have an opportunity to not only see me, but to see all my opponents. And just take that time to figure out what it is you want for America's future. Go to my website at byrondonalds.com. Look at all our videos. I wrote a vision for America's future. I'm serious and committed about preserving this nation for the next 100 years. And I hope to have your vote on August 14th. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you.